happens through repetition. You can have a breakthrough moment and you realize, like, whoa, I need to be doing this, or whoa, like, that just changed my complete perspective.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of those epiphany moments. But in order to support that breakthrough and support that epiphany, we need to back it with the repetition of all the tools, linguistics that support that, so that our brain begins to seek that.
Welcome back to another episode of Women of TmrO. If you are new here, thank you for stopping on this video. Women of TmrO is a platform dedicated to the success and longevity of women worldwide. So if that is you, please take a moment to watch this video. If you love it, please like it, share it, and subscribe. It helps us so much. Thank you. We're just gonna hop right in. Akiyla, welcome.
Thank you.
You're back.
I'm back.
Thank you so much for coming back to see me.
Thank you so much for having me.
You look beautiful.
So do you.
How long has it been?
It's been a year since I was on the show. For sure.
And what does it feel like? Like, what has changed in the year?
Wow.
Right?
So
like,
much.
We need like weeks to talk about that.
Yes,
but,
we do. We need sister time.
But I know that for me, so I feel, I can't even remember last year. I feel so different. It's 2025 still. We're at the end of 2025. And from what I've learned, it's a year of completion. It's a 9-year. And I don't really know what completion means. What do you know completion to mean in a completion year?
Completion, it could mean a lot of different things, but especially for us in a 9-year, it's like the ending of cycles. The ending of things that you used to be in contract with, the things that you set your foundation for 9 years ago when we was in a 1 year, and now we're going into a new beginning. And in order to come into new beginnings, certain things have to be closed. Certain things have to have come to its full duration that it has had in your life. And so because of that, a lot of things are going to surface. A lot of things that you thought were a part of you, were a part of your journey, was a part of what you needed to be doing, who you needed to be having around you, the environments you're supposed to be in. All of those things are going to be coming to question to see whether or not they come into the next fold of your life, the next chapter of your life, whether they need some renovation, whether they need repair, whether they need severance, whether things need space and openness. And so it could feel a little bit chaotic.
Okay.
Because it feels like almost like when you're doing a detox and like everything is coming up to be flushed out. It's the same thing. It's like the 9-year brings that rebirthing energy, and rebirth energy comes with like, let me flush you. And in this flush, everything that is surfacing right now might feel overwhelming and a lot. And what it invites us to do is to surrender and yield to the higher imprints that are wanting to come through for you at this time. And the more we resist that, the more it feels debilitating, and it feels more like just difficult and challenging. But the more that we just like, okay, this is what has to go, this is what has to be, this is what is needed for my next cycle, then it feels more manageable, more digestible, more palatable, and more easeful. And then you get to see how much more opens for you, not just in your life, but like literally inside your vessel. From allowing things to come to completion, which for some people that could be like to an end or to the next space.
Yeah. Wow. So we shouldn't necessarily be afraid of all that's coming to the surface. Because it's coming to the surface for a reason, for an opportunity to go to that next level that a lot of us are consistently seeking to go to. Is this something that's happening to everyone, or like, is this just like a world thing, or is it specifically for like seekers?
It is a collective thing where there are people are aware of the more cosmic order going on. They're still a part of it, but the more that you, as you said, are a seeker, the more aware that you are of its imprints.
Got it.
You know, the more you're aware of the adjustments rather than just like unconsciously living, unconsciously moving, and allowing life, being like at the whim of life.
Got it.
You know, it's like, oh, okay, I'm recognizing right now there's certain things have shifted, that certain timelines have altered, that certain ways that things used to work for me are no longer as accessible as they were, and I'm being trained to try this new way. And when you have that level of awareness, the training grounds feel more more pronounced.
It's more pronounced. It's like right here every day. Wake up. You're aware. You're aware, because I'm so aware of the tiniest little things. Before we get, I definitely want you to reintroduce yourself. It's been a whole year, and for people who didn't see our part 1. But before that, I do want to ask you, what is one thing that you have realized no longer belongs with you in this year?
Not receiving.
Not receiving. So you're taking on a energy frequency of receiving.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, in a space of receptivity.
How did you figure out that was what it was?
Because I really have been someone that really feels a strong call from my heart to give, and to show up and to be. And because of certain things in my psychological patterns that I had to come to more an awareness to, I didn't realize that I had so much of a neglect nourishment to myself, and that there was a subconscious patterning inside of me that didn't feel like I had to pay attention to what I needed. You know, I was just way more aware of what other people needed, and to be of support to them. And so that, no matter what, will ultimately lead you to burnout, to exhaustion, to having more anxiousness, for some people depression, whatever it may be. And that level of disconnect to yourself eventually collapses. And in that collapse, you learn like, oh, I forgot about me in the conversation. I forgot about me as a part of the whole. So it's like, while you're like, I'm here to serve humanity, you have to remember you're a part of humanity too, which means that you should be receiving all of the gifts and all of the love and all the lessons and the blessings that you want to see everybody else have for yourself as well. And if you carry any level of that inside of you where you don't think so, then you may find yourself in environments and in relationships and in situations where they're mirroring that back to you. It's going to show you this is the parts of yourself that you're not honoring within you. And instead of you're like, they're not doing this for me, it's like, no, they're doing that because they're mirroring what's inside of you. You're not believing that that's something you're supposed to receive for yourself. You're not remembering yourself.
Yourself. That's so powerful. Whew, wow, I love the way that you broke that down. And you're a mom, 3.
Yes.
A mom of 3. And I'm sure you fit with the work that you do. You have a bunch of children around here that you are mothering, remothering. How does this newfound energy of receiving, which I'm so glad, which I honor, I'm so happy, I'm ready to give to you. How does that affect, how do you see that affecting your motherhood and the work that you do, or how are you working to integrate that into your work?
One of my sisters, she says, "You're a baby too." And it's like remembering, like, while you might be this role of the mother, you're still the baby that needs to be cared for. And so it's having that consciousness being integrated all at once, because like your soul like is your inner child, right? And so it's remembering that child inside of you always needs to be taken care of as well. And so it's basically just putting that in everything. So even with my children, sometimes they mother me. They're like, "Mom, you didn't eat. What you gonna eat? What you gonna do? Mom, you need to come go for a walk with us." Or, "Mom, how you feeling? Mom, why are you crying? What's going on with you?" You know, and not that they're holding my emotions or trying to take care of me, but that they're so highly aware and in tune with me that they would ask to support me, and I'm not rejecting, you know, their integration with me.
Oh, wow.
You know, and allow them to also teach me as I am teaching them. You know, so what I find that just in the reflections of work too, when I'm with people, I'm like, you see a divine reflection in me, and I see it in you as well. We've met for a reason. We know each other for a reason. We're here in this space to give and receive at the same time.
Yeah, give and receive at the same time. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Like,
it's literally cosmic order. Like, literally the universe is based off of reciprocity.
Yeah. Everything give and receive. So does that really look like changing up some of your relationships?
Yes.
And have you had to let anybody go, or have you just had to have conversations like, look, this is who I am, this is what it is, it's giving, I need more, like, what
all
is
of the above.
Okay.
Definitely all of the above. Some relationships you ever had to recognize, like, okay, we've come to a completion. And the assignment that we had together is now over. The role in which and position in which I played in your life and vice versa is no longer needed for where we both need to be going next. It's outdated now. And the same thing with people that are remaining in your life. Okay, we need to have an update. You know, like we go to our phone, the iPhone or whatever it might say.
So crazy.
I don't know, iOS, whatever.
Yeah, we get our updates regularly.
It's fixing the bugs, you know, the viruses, adding new material, adding new things, technicalities to you. It's the same thing with yourself and in your relationships with people. So it's like we need to have an updated conversation. We might be operating out of outdated programming about who we think we're supposed to be with each other. Yeah. And that no longer fits where I'm evolving, so let's shift. And in this shift, this is how I might start showing up, or these are the things that I'm working on. Can I trust you to help me stay aligned in this new patterning, because I don't want to default back to my old self, you know? And I want you to be aware of certain things so that you don't, you know, aid into me doing certain things that bring me back to the past.
I love the way you explain that, because yes, I think, well, from what I'm learning is that, this technology, these phones, these computers are patterned after the electricity of humans. Yes. It's all been studied and made into this technology. So as much as we do to care for our iPhones, these expensive phones, these expensive computers, these expensive cars, we do not really look at ourselves like that. Like, don't put regular in a premium car. Like, my battery is dead, I gotta get on the charger. Yes. Like, all those things are so like simple to realize and be like, okay, well, this is just what I need. I'm not a superhuman. I mean, I am a God, but I'm, you know, like, we all need these things. When it comes to the relationships, where do you know that you need to be in your own self to learn how to let go of what's not serving you? Where does that does this just start with awareness and then leads to like tools and practices that I'll just, okay, for example, someone in my family, I won't call them out because I feel like I'll always be talking about them on the show. They'd be like, dang, don't use me. But their whole purpose in life for 50 years has been service. Mm-hmm. That's where they feel rewarded and fulfilled, and for whatever reason. And so, but they're seeing that it has created a lot of self-neglect. Mm-hmm. They're not even fully aware of how they feel and what they need. And getting them to see that they are important has been a challenge for me. It's been a slow process, but I think we all want connection and relationships and that kind of fellowship. What is the thin line between maintaining that type of natural connection, as the thin line between maintaining that but also taking time to honor yourself? Do you have to just like let it go, be willing to let it go in order to see what happens?
Sometimes it's not necessarily about letting that person go, but letting go your need to fix them or change them, because that could create more pressure than just the person themselves. And once you let go of your need to change them, then you can see into a self-inquiry. Is how this person showing up causing disruption in the way that I need to be in my life? Do they create spaces inside of me where I'm being triggered to states that I don't feel is healthy for myself? Do I carry enough high enough vibration and frequency within myself that I'm unwavering? Or do when I come in contact with them, I entrain my vibration to where they are? So if I could say yes to all of those, then I know that that's when I need to take a step back, or I need to separate myself because I'm being too influenced or too impressed upon by their energy, which means I need to be doing some level of work inside of myself so that I'm unwavering no matter who's around. But if you could be around this person, it's like no matter what they're going through, it's not changing you, it's not bringing you to spaces you don't want to be to, and you see that you're still a medicine here, and that medicine is being received from them, and they're working through it on their own time, because you can't rush anybody's process, then that's different. Okay. They could stay in your life. You could feel in your heart when it's like, they're here, they're supposed to be here in my life, but I'm not supposed to try to make them or mold them into something because I see more for them.
That's a big thing.
Yes, it's a huge thing. And it's also just this understanding, like, something could drop in you from your soul, right? And it's like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but you're also working with your human body, and it goes off of the algorithm. It goes off of patterns, and it gets used to those patterns. So until you have repeatedly told it, this is the new pattern that we're moving on, it's still going to go back to the old pattern. It has to believe that we have done something different, and this is who we are, and this is where we're staying. And that takes time, that takes discipline, that takes devotion of that new thought pattern. So we got to give people space to grow, and give people space to be able to unfold and bloom within themselves,
Yeah, as well as like giving yourself that time, right?
Exactly.
Not trying to rush the growth, the expansion, and all that.
I be saying all the time, like, people be trying to treat their personal development and spiritual evolution like McDonald's. Like, it's a lot of fast food culture going on, where it's like you feeling like you could just pull up and I'm gonna get my healing in an instant. Or I'm going to know who I am, fully remember who I am in an instant. It's like you can have instantaneous moments where everything, all the veil is down, like doing some ayahuasca, some mushrooms, and like you see clearly. But once you have come back into the human and you're in all of that dense parts of yourself, you realize you're not just operating with just your soul. There's all these different planes inside of you that have to be readjusted now to match that.
So give yourself time.
Give yourself the time.
Know that it takes time.
And even many yogis will say that, like, those who try to accelerate towards consciousness too fast risk the chance of psychosis, because your brain has to be able to have the time to digest all of the information that's coming into it. It has to be able to know the difference between what is of darkness, what is of light, what is of contraction, what is towards expansion. And the more it learns that, the more it will think the thoughts that support your evolution and not put you further into like the sunken space.
Wow, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. I hope everyone else can receive something from that. Okay. Now, tell me and tell everyone else, what is it that you what is your professional title now? Is it what are you know, I know it's been a year and
Yes.
change has come, but today how do you show up, and what is your offering, and you know, who are you to the world and to yourself?
To myself, I'm a mirror. I'm a mirror of remembrance. And I've been listening to a lot of people share with me about what they feel when they're around me. And I've been doing, like, intentionally not responding by saying, oh, no, don't think that, or don't say that, and just sitting with what comes up to reflect that back in myself. Like, how am I being received? So at this point in my time, what the verbal reflections have been is being a teacher right now, being a mom to many, being a sister, being somebody that's showing the example of embodiment, and being a vessel of love, and a reflection of which a person could feel empowered in who they are, not because of what I am and trying to be me, but just the resonance of me being me, initiating and exciting them to be them. And so that's why I was saying I could fit that in multiple different ways, which is through like retreats, through coaching, through the courses that I teach with my students, through the podcast,
Yes.
the holistic conversations, and just through the social media platforms with my friends and my family, just whomever I am in relationship with. That is the thing that I hear the most about what I bring to people in their life.
Yeah, the podcast. Yay, congratulations. Okay, tell me the name of the podcast. What, Holistic Conversations?
Yes.
Okay, and I remember you telling me about it. You said you're going to have me on. Am I still invited? I've never done an interview, so I'm like, okay, I'm ready. What has that been like? I know that when you initially told me, I think it was like last year, and you seemed to be excited.
Very.
You were ready for it.
Yes.
And then so you've already started filming. How has it been? What does it feel like? Does it feel just like another layer of who you are?
Yes. It feels natural. My good sis, her Brittany. Today's her birthday. Shout out to her. Happy birthday,
Shout out to Brittany. Happy birthday.
She started this podcast all on her own, and it's about personal development. And she invites people on to tell their stories about how they got to where they are, what makes this person.
Yeah.
You know, and getting deep into all the things that they have gone through in life to understand the wisdom and lessons that they have gained along the way. And when her and I met, it was just like a match. You know, our love story is a match. It was just so many synchronicities that we had. And we went and did ayahuasca together after only knowing each other for like a month.
Really? Wow.
Yes, went all the way out the country. And we just, you know, just through being on the phone with each other, realized like we have very holistic conversations. We have a lot of profound moments through what we talk about. And she had been wanting a co-host, And so she invited me on to be her co-host. She's like, I mean, she was one of the things she was like, this is good. This is so good. Like, like as we're talking. And so that was like, why not when it's just so natural for us to converse in this way? And so at the top of this year, we started working on the podcast,
nice.
Changing how it looks, painting, getting a new table, new chairs and stuff that. So after we have started interviewing people, it just feels right. I had always wanted, I shouldn't say always, I had thought about having a platform to just like speak and express and hear other people's thoughts and opinions on different things like that. But I'm just like doing 1,000,001 things at all times. So to be a part of something that I respect and I honor, that's already like moving on its own, felt so easeful. And I was ready to receive, that I didn't have to build something from the ground up, and that it was with somebody who I feel is a vibrational match to me. So it's been wonderful so far.
It's been wonderful. That's good. I can't wait to see the first episode with the duo.
Yes.
Okay, now I want to get into these topics, honey. I always go on a whole little tangent, but it's just like I go with the first thought that comes to me, and then it just ends up turning into another question. But I do really want to tap in with some of the things that we discussed.
This jacket is fire, y'all.
Are you loving my jacket right now still?
I really am.
Thank you. I love it. It was a good buy. Okay. How does change actually take place in the path of healing? Yeah. How do you actually, and I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, but what would you say to that?
Change happens through repetition.
Simple as that.
It happens only through repetition. You can have a breakthrough moment and you realize like, whoa, I need to be doing this, or whoa, like that just changed my complete perspective.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of those epiphany moments.
We do.
But in order to support that breakthrough and support that epiphany, we need to back it with the repetition of all the tools, languaging, linguistics that support that, so that our brain begins to seek that. Because there's a part of our brain called the reticular activator system that searches out and filters out the stuff in our world of what we believe in, what we think about, what we have an affinity towards. So if this new profound thing that you learn has changed your life, you now need to repeatedly bring yourself into learning more about that. And now your brain will seek that out, so that that's what's filtering into your world at this time. If you do not, then whatever was filtering before will be the main program that will still keep going.
Keep rushing back in.
Yes. So you have to repeatedly and be devoted and have a level of discipline in yourself to say, I make the daily act to move within this practice that I say is a part of my life.
What would you say is the best time of day? Because I'm starting to see, I've been waking up. God's been waking me up at like 2 and 3 in the morning. And I've just been deciding like, okay, just get up. Just get up and use this time to be with yourself, because you can't sleep. And it feels crazy just trying to fall back to sleep. So literally in this last couple of weeks, I've just been getting up and going to my little medicine room and reading and researching, writing. And it feels good. Like that time, it feels so quiet and peaceful. However, I will say that repeating it or repeating things, it's just like the time, it's like the day. Like, how do you get into what's the best time of day? What's the best way to learn how to do something again? You know, like learn how to get into a practice of something. Because as we get older, it seems like it's just so many things pulling at us. So what would you say to that? What have you done?
Really, it's just start again. It's like not allowing the thought of I messed up to have you in a chokehold.
Okay.
Or I got left in, what I'm trying to say.
I get what
Just because I got off course
Yeah.
doesn't mean I can't get back on. If I think like that, then more days will go by
Got it.
that I haven't gone through it. But I would say one of the things that I have learned, especially in learning more about astrology and just witnessing myself, is go adjust accordingly. Adjust with what's working with you right now. You know, it might be better for you to do your spiritual work or the practices that you need to do at night. It might work better for you if you do it in the morning. But I will say, though, that optimal time to do it is right when you wake up.
Okay.
Whatever new patterns you're trying to implement into your life, because you're like still in that theta wave state, and the theta wave state is the most impressionable for subconscious reprogramming. And it is our subconscious mind is what actually carries out all of our actions. So we want to change that aspect of ourselves so that we consciously choose whatever new things that we want to implement in our life. It's also the space where you are, like the hours that you talked about.
Yeah.
It's like the ambrosia hours, or Path of the Yogi would say that's the ambrosia hours of the Amrit Vela, which is the time where the veil is more lifted between the spiritual world and the material world.
Got it.
So you got more spaces of silence and stillness to transmit and receive. And it's a more opportune time to meditate. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of busyness happening around where you are in the world. And so it gives you the opportunity to be still, be open, and receive whatever new things needed to come to you at that time. It's a great time to meditate.
Great time. So there's two things that you just made me think of while you were speaking. You said we were talking about repeating things and just and having those breakthrough moments or those epiphanies, and you're like, and everything makes sense in these moments, right? And then you drop back into your subconscious pattern. When it comes to creating these this repetition, it doesn't always have to feel like profound, right? Or you can just say, okay, I'm just going to do this until it feels like something. And so even if it doesn't feel like a breakthrough every time you do it, it's still doing its work.
It is the breakthrough still, because you're breaking through your old patterning. It's like you just, every time you wake up and you decide to do, like, devote yourself to whatever practice you have set for yourself, you knock down another piece of chip that was blocking you from being closer and closer to yourself, closer to the resonance that you want to be operating at. So it's like it's not a bang breakthrough, but it's breaking through old patternings still each time that you do it, each time that you show up. And it's also, when you decide to wake up and devote to yourself, it gives you dominion over you. When you wake up and you go on your phone, or you go to begin scrolling or begin talking to other people, you already giving away, like, dispersing your energy.
That pure energy from just now coming from the other side or wherever
you're at the most impressionable time of your life when you wake up. And so that's why it's like one of the most important times of your day, when you wake up, to utilize that as a moment to devote self-care to yourself. And I don't mean like go get your nails done. I mean like nourishing your insides, still being able to empty your mind from thoughts that are self-sabotaging, from thoughts that's telling you that you're not enough, or you're not good enough, or any type of lack or scarcity that you're holding on to, or any type of pain that you've experienced in the past. It's the moment to say, like, this is my day, this is my life, I'm empowered, I'm in love. I'm in the honeymoon phase with myself, loving this life that I'm living, loving on me. I'm evolving in this love with myself, with my spirit guides. And that right there shifts where your attention is going to go for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But if I get on the internet and somebody starts watching like what other people are doing, whether they're fighting with each other, whether they're talking about men and women wars, or whether they're talking about girls being in competition with each other, now that's what you attuned your whole day towards, that energy.
Right, immediately when you open your eyes and wake up. That makes so much sense. And you've done so much work, and you've been in this practice for a long time, and you say things so beautifully, and I love listening to you. And at the same time, we can still listen to you, but know that maybe we don't have the exact words, but we know what our intentions are, and we can let our intentions lead us, even if we just like, don't have the beautiful words to say, and just keep going. A part of what you said about self-care, I heard you say witnessing yourself. That's good. That is good. Witnessing yourself, observing yourself. To me, I've been practicing that, and that feels like self-care. It feels like I'm taking time to observe how I feel, what I just did, what just happened, and that allows so much space to not judge, but just to witness. What can you say to that, witnessing yourself, and how people can start incorporating that in their day-to-day, like taking some time to just see what you got going on?
Yes. There's plenty of different ways to just witness yourself. It does take you moving into the space of the observer. You realize you're having all these thoughts, but then you're also realizing like, oh, okay, there is something observing those thoughts. That's something that's observing those thoughts is what's called witness consciousness. And that is the aspect of you that you want to be attuned to. So that when you're watching how you're behaving throughout the day, what you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about other people, and laugh at yourself sometimes. Like, oh, I was taking that way too seriously.
Yeah.
Or I allow these things to take me out of my comfort zone. I allow these things to bring out parts of me that are not becoming, whatever it may be. And just doing so without judgment, without criticism.
I think that's the big part, right?
Yes. It's necessary,
because that's what the observer is. It's a non-judgmental place.
It's just watching it go by like cars on the road. It's like, okay, that's interesting. That we thought that we felt that. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like a hug. Honestly, it feels like, because you get into these emotions in your day and you get reactive, and then I've noticed that when I'm like, oh, you mad, Kayla, huh? it takes the pressure away from me feeling like I need to solve it or fix it, and it just says, it allows me to be like, well, why are you mad? Or, ask the more loving questions, do the more loving things to myself, rather than feeling like it was wrong or I have to fix it or change it. It's just like, we're just going to sit with what it was, and maybe that answer will come.
Yes.
I've been using the word integration a lot today already, but because it's like a new word, I know what it means, I'm using it, I'm doing it. But what is the difference between integration and catharsis? What is catharsis?
Catharsis is when you are engaging in an activity, a technique, or an experience that releases any pent-up or stagnant energy inside of you. So an example would be, let's say you are tapping here at your thymus, right here at your heart center, and you start speaking about something that brings you grief, right? The moment that you bring awareness to your grief, but also are tapping on that space, you are opening up energy to be released from you. And so when that energy comes up, that's called a catharsis. Whatever emotional release that comes out is called a catharsis. Okay. And catharsis can be tears, it could be anger, it could be laughter, it could be just like peace, stillness, but it's like sometimes energy is trapped inside of the body. And when you have a catharsis, it gets to come out.
So it's like you engage your physical body as well as your mental, like your thoughts, and you're speaking what's been going on in your psyche, and engaging your physical body at the same time.
Well, that's just one example.
Okay, that's one.
It doesn't always have to engage the body, but a lot of times the body, you're doing any type of somatic practice, which is any type of body work, does have a lot of experiences of catharsis, because the body is holding the emotional memory of things that you've experienced in your life. So a lot of times that is what will happen. But you can have a catharsis by just somebody's voice, because you're experiencing a vocal transmission, and the way that their vibration is moving through your body is creating an emotional reaction. You start feeling like, whoa, I feel tears about to come out of my eyes, and they're not actually doing too much, but the way that tone is bringing something out of you. So that could be a catharsis in itself as well.
How did you, what is it because you were experiencing a lot of where you were kind of, I guess, recognizing that there was things held in your body? Is that what started you on this path to do this work yourself and then to help other people? Is that like a huge part of where, because people will change their diet, they'll change their friends, they'll change their relationships and all the things, but still have chronic illness or still have things that won't leave their experience. Does a lot of that have to do with it being just trapped in the body. Through emotion?
Yes, because there are different layers to who you are. So we got your physical layer, you got your mental body, your astral body, your buddhic body, your monadic body, your atmic body. Each body has its own purpose. So down here in the physical realm, our body is our radar system. It picks up all of what's going on in the environment, and it's letting the mind know, the nervous system know whether or not it feels safe in this environment. Its sole purpose is to protect you from harm, right? Its sole purpose is to pick up the senses around it to whether or not it feels like it belongs. And then your mind is going to start to strategize on whether or not it has any type of tool or technique that's going to help it to survive, right? So because it's picking up on all these sensations at all times, it can get trapped inside of the body, and you will hold on to whatever trauma, stress, anxiousness, depression, pain, or whatever in your body, because it holds memory, especially emotional memory. We as humans have forgotten how to work with our human vehicle, and so that's why it gets stuck in the body, but we are naturally supposed to release it from the body. Something I share like at retreats or with my students is like, when you see a child, right, and they don't get what they want, or you tell them no, or whatever it is,
tantrums.
They have a tantrum, right? We see it as a tantrum, but really it's like they're releasing the emotion that they're feeling out of their body. They're operating in divine intelligence. They're connected that if I do all of that, what do they do when they're done? They over it like nothing happened.
They are done. I have 2 nephews and they go in just like that.
Like it never happened, because they're connected to that part of themselves that if I release it from me, I feel better. But what do adults tell them? Cut it out. Don't do that. Stop it.
You're acting out.
Exactly. You're acting out. You're being bad. And so now they start to internalize. Let me repress this natural need to just move this energy out of me, and now it gets trapped. And people start to become imprisoned in their own body. And when all of that energy is stuck inside of you, it repeats back to your mind. We don't feel safe. We're not loved. We don't belong. We're not enough. We're not wanted, because that's how the body feels. So if we want the mind to think something different, we have to tell it something different by way of the body. And we have to give the body experiences, spaces where it can release.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so as a grown person, is there something like, I was wondering, do you, on your day to day, if you are out and about, say you have a full day and when you're outside and you're running into energy that you didn't ask for, but it's around, right? What are you doing to shake it off here and there? Like you go into the store, do you actually say, after I leave out the Walmart, I got to get it up off me? Like, how do you, like, I mean, I know that I'm just wondering because I'm a sensitive person and I do find myself, I will shake out my hands regularly just to like release. But is there something that can just be, I won't say, convenient, because that's not something I'm necessarily trying to have, but easeful, or just something that can be done where it doesn't completely disrupt like your schedule when you are out and about? People love the big city, it's exciting, but there's a lot of energy, a lot of stuff that we're walking through, right? What do you do?
I would say for myself, it's an embodiment reaction already, because I know that my path causes me to be around a lot of people at all times.
Okay.
So I don't really absorb a lot of energies, even when I'm in a space with a lot of people.
Got it.
Right. But also, you don't always have to have, your medicine bag full of your cacho and your sage and your palo santo to get energy off of you. There's something you carry with you at all times, and that's your voice. And your voice is a transmitter that shifts the atmosphere that's around you. And so it's as simple as say, I don't carry that energy. Any energies that have attached to me in this moment, I release them. You don't have a home here. Disperse. And just your words alone shifts your own atmosphere. And it's understanding like your voice creates your reality. The sound, specifically frequency, vibration, creates everything in the construct of our entire existence. The universe. Everything that we're using right now operates off of vibration and frequency. The fact that we connect is through vibration and frequency. So if we see that, if I know that vibration and frequency can create technology, a phone, then I can create a sacred space around my entire auric field, where everywhere I walk, I am not penetrable by other energies trying to get in. And then I've also spent enough time with myself to know what's me and what's somebody else. When we've developed that level of relationship with ourselves, you can easily tell, like, oh, I feel that little twinkle wiggle coming in here. You feel the energy trying to get into the space, and then you can release it from that moment from you. So it definitely takes, where you could just be in spaces where you're not affected. It takes learning you and your own energetic makeup first. And that takes time. And then you can move like that. But if at any moment you're out, you can always use your voice.
Your voice.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. And I do want to go back to your question about catharsis and integration. So with the catharsis, it's like the involuntary response of your emotional reaction that's pent up in you. And then integration is being able to sit and navigate and properly bring in the lessons from what it is that was just released. What did I learn from that experience? What have I gained now? What practical steps can I now do in my day-to-day life from that? And now that I have all of this emotional charge, I can now put in my new pattern of what I believe at this moment. Because all beliefs that we have get cemented in our mind with emotional charge. That's why it's so strong and sticky to get rid of. So in order to override it, we have to match it with emotional charge and the new narrative that we have coming in. So when you have a catharsis, the integration moment is like, say in your catharsis, you're letting go like from your body that like rejection. A lot of people will have like rejection wounds and say once the catharsis comes up and you just have a burst of anger come out because you're remembering all the moments that somebody rejected you, rejected loving you, rejected hugging you, rejected telling you that they love you, rejected showing up for you, and you releasing that anger. And now that you have let it go, you can use that emotional charge to empower yourself and say, I love myself. I receive myself. I am perfectly made. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am big. Like whatever those things are, to combat all of the things that try to dismantle you, that try to destroy you, that try to steal you from your path and your purpose, and using that moment to integrate the truth. Integrate the remembrance of exactly who you are. So yes, you had this big release, but in your release, put in the remembrance. So that's where integration comes in.
That makes so much sense. Like, wow. So is that like a full, I will say maybe ritual that you practice, where you go from the catharsis to the integration, the catharsis to the integration? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm doing the mantras and that I just feel, it's like, okay, I'm doing it. But yeah, that emotional charge, you need that emotional charge.
Yes, you need it. It's good time to use it when it comes up, because that is learning how the mind actually works. Your hippocampus is like your librarian of all the things that's happening in your life, and also helps with your emotional regulation. When it stores things, and your amygdala, when they store things, they're storing it with emotion. So that's also why people need to be in contact with their emotion. I know that our society tells even men, like, don't be emotional. Women, you're too emotional. But it's like, emotion is actually taking up a large part of your experience. When you're not connected to it, you are unconsciously living. You are inviting stuff into your life that you probably don't even want. But because you don't have any contact with your emotional truth, you're living a life that is not even for you. So it's not about being moody all day.
Yeah.
It's about being a witness to feelings that are arising, so that those feelings don't cement things in your life that you don't want, that's deterring you from the path that you are designed to be on. Because also your emotions makes up your essence, like your auric field, your astral body. People be like, I want to astral travel and all this stuff, all the cool woo. But it's like that body is made up of your emotions, whether those emotions are digested, suppressed, repressed, rigid, full of rage, full of anger. Something that I always share with my students is like, have you ever been sitting in this space and somebody walks in and you feel their energy? And people like, oh yeah, like the room feels more brighter. It feels like you feel more inspired and more empowered. It's because that person's astral body is carrying an energetic imprint of love, of confidence, of conviction in themselves. And in the same token, somebody who might have walked in and then everybody's like, ugh, you feel like a more contraction feeling inside of you. And it's like, you start thinking like, something about that ain't right. Right? Everybody can say they have feather, and none of these people had to say a word, right? It's because we feel you before you say anything. We know what you're going through before you say anything, because your auric field will tell us, and your auric field holds all of your emotional truth. So it's important for us to be in tune with what it is that we actually truly feel, so we can build a lighted house to dwell within. Otherwise, we will be disorganized by other people.
Oh, disorganized by other people. Disorganized by other people. Wow. That happens.
Yes, you do.
Wow. And so you're saying, I'm just taking it all in. I love this so much. The emotional, being in touch, tapped in with your emotions, does not mean you're weak or got an attitude, moody, sensitive, in a bad. It's not a negative thing. It's literally energy in motion. So everyone's experiencing it, right? So don't deny it. Tap in with it, learn it, and work with it.
Yes, learn to master your emotions. You're not supposed to be swayed by every whim of emotion. They're passing just like thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes people become overly identified with that emotion and they take it on as a personality, right? And that's where therein lies the problem. But if I'm just observing, like, wow, I'm experiencing anger right now. Wow, I'm experiencing the feelings of sadness. What is this trying to tell me? What am I needing to see? Right? They're just all messages for you to prompt you to more awareness. And when you ignore them, you are living part of your life unconscious.
That's a big part of something that I've been learning is because I was using gratitude to push away.
To push away.
Because I put the quotes because it's definitely something that I still use. However, I don't use it to cover up my emotions.
Yes.
And I was saying it's almost like these emotions that would come up of dis-ease or a longing for something different or more, or, you know, things like that. I would say, well, you know, I'm grateful. And something me and Ebony talked about and me and Althea talked about, it's like, okay, gratitude has its place. It's not just to be used to cover up everything and use it to just quiet other parts of you that are actually real and relevant.
Yep. Gratitude is like joy. It's a state of being. When I'm thankful for all of my experiences and I'm not giving any flattery to when everything feels right and demonizing when things are going not the way I might want it to. It don't feel pleasing. Right? It's like I'm grateful because even though this feels uncomfortable, I'm growing and it's stretching me in ways that I need to be stretched because I need to see this.
You need to see this.
Yeah, but it hurts. It sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's still relevant. It doesn't take away gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, even joy.
Okay.
You know, it's like you're thinking that if I acknowledge this one emotion, that's who I am. It's like, no, emotions are fleeting. They move. They want to move. They don't want to stay stagnant. You know, and when you're building like your core essence, that part of you is what's built with peace and joy, and that's what's unmoving no matter what emotion passes through. Right? Even just becoming more in the state of witness consciousness. It's like no matter what thoughts come through, I know myself. Even if my mind might say I'm not enough, I know the truth. I know that's my wound speaking at this moment and not my highest self. You know, I know that's coming up right now because something in my external world or my internal world just triggered that activation. But it doesn't mean that I have to believe it and become that just because it showed up. And it's the same thing for emotion.
Same thing for emotion.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. Speaking of becoming your emotion or identifying too hard with your emotions, that's something that often happens with ego, wouldn't you say? Like I guess we don't know the place of the ego. You mentioned something of ego, dissolution, and the rebirthing process. I've had a couple of conversations about ego. Some people say you got to kill the ego, and then some people say no, you need the ego. What would you say about that, and what is your practice, I guess, of ego dissolution?
It's both.
Okay.
The ego will die and die again and be reborn again. Your ego is your interface, and when I say interface, it's like Akiyla, that's the ego, that's the avatar that you're operating in this lifetime. So everybody's going to have an ego, but then there is the ego develops a personality, right? And that personality is what's carrying out whatever's being ran by the body or what's being ran by the soul. Right? So the soul needs a vehicle to carry out any vision or mission that it has. That's why we as souls come into form. Because when we're formless, we can't like touch and move things too much, right? We use our vehicle to be able to do that. We carry out God's expression, the divine's expression, through being human in this dimension. So the ego is the aspect of you that does it. It's the parts of you that makes it happen. When we are guided by our soul, the ego serves. When we are guided by our mind,
okay.
exactly, the ego becomes a servant to desire, temptation, and to serve itself. When you're serving the soul, it knows it's serving more than just itself. So that's where people be like, you got to get rid of the ego, because they're talking about the egoic personality that is serving its own agenda, thinking about itself, operating out of arrogance and selfishness. But there's proper ways to use it.
There's proper ways.
And that's why it will die and be reborn again. So when people are like, you got to kill it, because you probably operating out of an interface that doesn't bring balance in your life. It doesn't bring you the level of awareness to have deep relationships with other people. It doesn't allow you to not operate out of your pain and wounded mindset, because you could create an ego interface that says, I don't trust people. People have betrayed me. I don't need nobody. I got it all by myself. That's an egoic personality, right? That's one, because there's so many, right? Or you can have another egoic personality that says, I try not to say too much. I'm trying not to do too much. Try not to be too much. Just stay small. If I do that, then I'll be received and nobody will bother me. I'll have no conflict, right? Because it's thinking that that's what it needs to do in order to survive and belong. But once you get past all of that and you allow your soul to filter through, your ego just becomes a servant, as a navigator of this world, and not the driver of this world. So when you go through ego dissolution, it's very painful, because it means that a part of you that you thought you were has to be let go, because it was an illusion and not the truth of who you are and why you're here and what you're meant to do.
Have you heard people say there's soulless people walking around, and there's people that their soul has left their body? Have you heard that?
Yes.
Do you how do you view that? Is that something that you've experienced? Like there's bodies without souls that are showing up every day.
It's like,
because I'm like, if that is true,
yes,
is it because the ego has hijacked the physical body and therefore the soul doesn't have a place to live?
It's a few factors. I'm gonna try to be quick. I would say focus less on somebody being soulless and more on the more further you are from source,
Okay.
the more you are in the realm of distortion
Okay.
and separatism and destruction. The more that you're in that space, the more things become and feel more dark, because you've moved away from the light. And so the further your soul feels from you, right? Your soul is still present. It just feels far from those people. That's why, like in shamanism, it's like reclaiming the soul, or doing soul retrieval, or doing recapitulation, which is bringing back fragmented parts of yourself that got stuck and lost in different timelines of your life. So you can be
disconnected,
or distant. I would use that more.
Distant.
You can be more distant from your soul, because there's so much congestion inside of you that makes it hard for your soul to filter to you and through you. That's why it's so important to do those somatic or body exercises to release all of that energy that's pent up inside, and so important to repattern your mind, and also very important for you to clear your heart, because these are the channel accesses that the soul moves through to get to you, so that you get to that space of embodiment, so that your soul is like, you can feel when somebody's soul is like here.
Got it.
But when we allow ourselves to fall into spaces further away from love, more into the dimensions of fear and worry and doubt and lack and not feeling belonging and all those different things like that, the more darker we feel, the
We're
more dark
distant.
and more distant you are, the more susceptible and vulnerable you are to external energies that amplify that inside of you and also confirm the beliefs that you have inside of you. And this is how now people get stuck in those spaces and start acting out of malevolence, start doing things that cause more destruction to people's lives, that cause more harm. Right?
That makes sense. Like you've just gotten, you're so congested and you're so distant from your soul. So my understanding right now is the soul, leading with the soul is when you do what's best for you and all.
Yes.
And leading,
because you are a part of the all.
Okay, so for all, you do what's best for you. Lead with what's going to be great for all. And the ego is connected to the mind, and it can create this behavior that just cares about the self.
It can. Yes.
It can. Okay, that makes sense. So when you talk about ego dissolution, the ego can die time and time again, and the rebirthing process is getting closer to your soul.
Closer to your remembrance. It's like you already know you're that. You just forget. A lot of times you have a lot of amnesia coming into, because not everybody is being born into families that have awareness, that have consciousness. Sometimes people are in environments where people are completely uninformed about themselves and running on programs that were placed upon them by cultural influence, and so naturally being raised in that space, you take on the same thing.
Yeah.
You mask, you people please, you act outside of yourself, you just pretend and perform over and over again. And somewhere along the way you forget and lose who you really were. So when we're healing and all of that, it's you're just repairing your relationship with who you came as.
So how you were saying earlier with the children who they're acting in divine intelligence when they're getting that energy out of them, and the society around them saying no, 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 and the more they hear no, no, no and start doing that, then that's where the congestion starts happening.
Yes.
And exactly. The distance from who they are.
And it's all this build up, all this plaque. It's like telling yourself, don't brush your teeth. And then what happens? Start getting plaques, start getting cavities, start losing your teeth. And now you want to put in, fake teeth and all of that, because you're further and further away from the cleanliness of yourself, your purest self.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So is there a difference between leading with the soul and the heart space? Are those very much so connected? And
very much connected.
Okay, leading with the heart. I've been here. All the studying I've been doing this year is very much so. Open your heart, clear your heart, lead with your heart. What does that mean?
Heart is so yummy. Lead with your heart. Okay, so understanding lead with your heart is remembering your heart's position in your life, right? So taking it back, it's your heart has been beating for you since conception. It has carried every heartbreak you've ever experienced. It has carried every joy you ever experienced. It has carried the capacity to love everybody you've ever loved in your life. It's carried loss and grief. Anything that you have felt, it has carried that for you. And it has held you and kept you going and beating for you no matter what you have experienced. So with that understanding, it becomes gratitude. Wow, thank you. You're beating for me right now without me having to ask you. You are showing up for me without me having to ask you. You're still beating, even though we were in relationships that nearly tore us apart. Like, wow. Then there comes more gratitude. Like, wow, thank you. Thank you, heart, for your ability to have such capacity to manage this life that I'm living. And then it's like, now that I bring awareness to my heart, I'm like, wow, my heart is beating. And when I say it's beating, what does that mean? It's like it's sending nourishment to every part of my body. If my brain doesn't have blood, I am dead. If my kidneys do not have blood, then I am not going to be able to filter things out. You know, every part of me, if I don't have blood in my legs, it's going to be dead. And I'll have to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? So it is making sure that I'm continuously connected, that every part that makes me is connected to one another and operating. And so that is the same thing of the soul. Your soul connects you to the all. It connects you to everything in existence. It's the fluid within you that reminds you, like, that you come from cosmic lineage, cosmic royalty, cosmic bloodline. You know, it is the network that keeps you beating with the universe, just as your heart does. And so when we think about building this relationship with our heart, when we do and we clear it from any type of debris, any type of grief, any type of hardening, then the soul can now filter through the heart. And just as the heart is sending all of that energy throughout, you know, all that blood throughout every part of your body, now the soul can send that cosmic fluid to every part of your body. And that's when they talk about becoming like the illuminated being, where you could feel somebody's light up off of them when they're around you, because their soul is literally sending all of its essence to every single fiber of their being. So when you're leading with your heart, you're also choosing to lead with your soul, because you're remembering the network of love that you come from, the network of love that takes care of you without asking, without question, without hesitation. That is so profound when you really like sit with it, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, heart. Your heart guides you towards compassion. It guides you towards empathy. It guides you towards forgiveness. It guides you towards being open to see people at their core, the gifts that they hold. And it's not from the space of competition. It's like, wow, I'm divine, you divine. I'm powerful, you powerful. I'm love, you love, you know, and together we amplify this space and create more of this vortex of love to come onto this planet. So when I'm leading from the heart, I'm actually leading from what's truly divine. You know, it is literally the part of us that is connected to everything. So it's like I'm leading with everything. I'm leading with the all.
I'm leading with the all. That's some good stuff right there.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for, thank you. Wow. 'Cause yeah, that heart has been on my mind, and wow, just to understand, to see it that way. Yeah, it is the all and the everything. You mentioned something earlier about shamanism, and you yourself are a shaman. What kind of work is that? And I think I shared with you that I recently went to Peru this was in March, and I sat with ayahuasca one time. The plan was to sit with it for four times, but I didn't continue. And I was just observing. You know, I was going into that environment. I thought I was an Amazon girl. I was not an Amazon girl. Maybe if I had been with you, but baby, it was not the right. Baby. It wasn't. You know, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. I just knew that it was not. I did not feel. You know, I guess my nervous system was not relaxed and secure enough to continue in that environment. And so I'm observing everyone who's there, including the shamans, and there was like 4 of them, 2 women and 2 men, and I just couldn't get a connection as to, you know, their presence, and how much they cared or were devoted, but I know that when you are taking this certain type of plant medicine, that it should be given to you through a shaman. And that's really all that I know about shamanism. But you can tell me from your experience in becoming one and going through all that, what kind of work is that?
So a common thing among shamans is that it is a conduit that is able to operate in multiple dimensions and consistently in contact with spirits from other realms, other dimensions, and stuff like that, while maintaining proper cognition in this dimension. Okay. Now, everybody is not the same type of shamans. There are different types of shamans.
Okay.
There are earth shamans, which was more like an elemental shaman, but which is like those who speak, learn, and are taught from plants.
Okay.
So ayahuasca being one of them, a lot of the people who will do it traditionally will tell you that their ancestors taught them, that the plants told them to put this brew together, and when they did, that they would be revealed certain levels of themselves. So the ability for them to commune with the plant spirits is what makes them the shaman, because now they are learning from the plants how to brew and mix things together, what to use, what to take, what to eat, what not to eat, based off of the plant speaking to them, right? So that's like more of an earth shaman. You have like your visionary shamans, which is one of the things that I'm strong in it, which is we dream a lot. When our body goes to rest at night, I'm in other worlds, and in the other worlds, I'm learning about other people. I'm being trained in different things that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm learning from different teachers. I'm getting cleansed. I'm getting lessons. I'm going through different levels of pressure to grow. I'm going through different types of energetic surgery. I'm seeing into the past, the present, the future. I've called many people, there's probably a bunch of people that might watch this, where I'm like, oh, I had a dream about you, and it's connected, and it makes sense of what they're going through in that moment, or it's actually happening right now, or a prophecy within their life, and it's because when I was dreaming, I received that information. And with being like a dream walker and going through different timelines, I could also see like how one choice would have created this alternate experience. And then I could also see like visions that will like come to be, but then also I could be doing the subconscious dreaming where I'm learning about myself, you know, so that's what kind of like makes it different. It's like I'm going into the other worlds to bring that medicine back here to also receive different types of imprints within myself, that when people come in contact with me, they feel something they know they haven't necessarily felt. And like, I know I feel something, and it's like I'm internalizing their feeling what I just received, or they're receiving, you know, what that spirit gave me, or what that mama gave me, or what that papa gave me when I was in that world or that realm, or when I was in the jungle or whatever, under the water. It's like all these different experiences that I go through, and that's what a shaman does. It goes to something, it's some type of medium, and brings that medicine back for the community.
Got it.
And in doing so, they're communicating with other beings to receive that level of information, you know? And so there's different ones where it's like water shamans. I do some water as well, where you're taking people to the rivers, and in the river speaks to you, you know? And
yeah, I see you in the river a lot.
That's my mama.
Oh,
you know, when I go to the water, I speak to her. I sing for her. I play music for her. I bring her offerings, because it's a relationship. This is like activated energy, an active spirit, a sentient being that communicates to you, you know, and it's like she's like, bring the people. Okay, bring the people. It's the vision I had, like, I'm gonna do this work Like, I was just telling the people the other day, like, I never went to a retreat before I did a retreat. It's literally a vision that came to me, and they showed me what to be doing and how to be doing it through my dreams.
Yeah.
You know, and then creating that space and then saying it needs to be on the water because the water was calling me in my dreams. Like, I literally spent months underwater in my dreams.
Wow.
Just learning from underwater spirits. So, and there's also like air shamans who utilize sound and voice to transmit or to channel, which is another thing that I do as well, which is spirits can come through me and do what's called like possession or mounting and speak through your vessel to share a message. So there could be times where somebody's mom who has passed on, like just the other day we did a co-facilitated at a retreat, and I was telling the woman, she's like, did you see something? I'm like, yes. There was a woman there, and she's very stern, but she's loving, and she was like wanting you to da-da-da-da-da. She was like, wow, that's my mother. I never met this woman a day in my life.
Wow.
But her mom's spirit was coming through. And then through that level of channeling, sometimes there is what people call light languaging, or other people call speaking in tongues, or you also can just be speaking a real dialect. And that is this fast-paced transmission of energy and spiritual imprints coming in that the tongue doesn't have to work through, like English linguistics, you know, and it's creating a transmission of healing through that. So there's different types of shamanism.
Yeah.
Some people mostly know like earth shamans, where it's specifically like you work with the plant medicines, but there's different ways in which shamans do the work.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
When I tell you, you just make things make sense. I just feel it. And I was like, I'm not gonna cry again, because I did cry a little bit, but last time I definitely was crying. This is so beautiful. I want to end this conversation with one thing. Vibration and frequency, how it impacts us. I know I kind of use those words interchangeably, but what exactly is the vibration or the frequencies that we are or that we're experiencing, and how are they impacting us daily?
Ooh, all day, every day.
All day, every day, right?
All day, every day. It's literally a choice of what frequency you're gonna tune yourself to, just like a radio.
Okay.
Right? You turn on the radio. I mean, I ain't listened to the radio in so long, so I'm about telling my age. I don't even, Hot 97 still plays.
Nobody listens to the radio. I don't know who listens to the radio, but yeah. Shout out to the radio.
Shout out to the radio. But it's like you get to choose what radio station you want to tune to. It's the same thing about frequency. There's so many different imprints of frequency in the atmosphere. Right? And your heart is an antenna for that as well as your mind, but a lot of your heart is. And you attune yourself to whatever those frequencies are, whether that's the frequency of love, of sabotage, of fear, of doubt, whatever, and it gets amplified by that frequency. When they're talking about like your vibration, it's like you needing to do the reconfiguration within yourself to change the puzzle piece that is you. And so remember before we were talking about the astral body. The astral body creates like your vibrational resonance.
Yeah.
And that's why it don't matter what you say or, perform, it tells the truth because it knows what actual internal work you're doing. And it matches you with with other vibrations that are where you're at, trying to get to where you're at, and your polar opposite. Okay? People always say, like, you only attract where you are.
I was just about to say that. Does that have anything to do with that? When people are like, you attract who you are, not what you want.
Yes, it is true.
Okay.
But you also attract. It's like, that's true. Plus, you also attract those who are looking to entrain themselves to that vibration, and those who are your polar opposite, meaning their energy is just as strong, but on the other side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So and y'all coming into contact, and you see it throughout creation stories, spiritual texts. It's like God and the devil, right? God is this almighty, omnipresent being, but then there's like the devil that's over here tricking everybody into temptation and desire, right? And so in a lot of spiritual texts, we see that, which lets us know on a human level, we don't just meet where we at, we also meet our opposition as well, because you do also attract your opposites, because we do also learn from our opposites. Your light is tested through meeting darkness. Your light learns through meeting darkness. Your light can be shifted and changed through your experience of darkness. And so there's certain training grounds we got to go through in meeting our opposition, right? And also to really test whether your light is real or performance. Because if you can be shifted and changed by somebody else's darkness, your light is not unwavering enough, right? And so I remember a Babalao told me, you think, and this was like years ago, it's like, you think your light is for rainbows and bubbles and pixie sticks and running through the forest as a fairy, but your light is also to be very much a protector of warding out and extracting incongruent beings from people, from spaces. Your light is here to banish and also change and strip people who are consumed by the darkness.
So if someone comes in, so say I go somewhere, and this has been in my experience a lot, it's like I'll be in the same rooms, the same environments, the same industries, and not experience the same the same experiences. It's just like, oh, well, for some reason they didn't come at me like that.
Right, because your vibration didn't invite that. Right, but maybe theirs did, and maybe there's a lesson in them experiencing that.
They needed that lesson at that time.
Or just even more inquiry into themselves.
Okay.
What is this teaching me about me right now? What is this? Why is this showing up in my life right now?
Is that have any? What is this person dealing with? I know someone who so bad things happen to them, right? But they don't try to do anything to shift it. They're just always like, bad things always happen to me. It just is what it is. And then I'll be like, just think different. Say something different. Yeah. No, I'm just being realistic. That's just all. It just always happens to me like this. Are they stuck in a frequency, a vibration, or they're keeping themselves stuck?
Yes, because you got to remember also, with everything being vibration, a thought is a vibration, and that thought is projected out into the atmosphere, and any other entities or energies or vibrations or frequencies that match that will amplify that. And remember I was saying earlier about the reticulated activated system. If her or his mind is on bad things happen to me, then the mind is going to filter out bad things that happen to me.
Let's find some more bad things.
Let's find more bad things that happens to us, because that's all it knows. The nervous system is intelligent, but also very primitive. It is consciousness that awakens it to see outside of the limitation of whatever pattern it used to know. So in order for that person to have a different thought, they have to give themselves a different experience. They have to put themselves in a different environment. And when it happens, now they get to tell that old story. It's a lie. Because now I had this one time that bad things didn't happen. This was like one good time. So now the bad things always happen to me. That's just what it is. No longer can stand. Now it's an illusion. We witnessed that. That was a distortion. That wasn't real.
So you really need that. Makes sense, because I have a little thing that I tell some of my girlfriends when they're wanting to attract a certain type of man, but really they want to attract an experience, I think. And I'm like, well, just date someone who maybe doesn't look how you want, but they treat you how you want to be treated. And then you have that experience. Then your body has something to work with. They know what to look out for. They know what's available. They know what's there. So just giving yourself at least that one experience to shift you.
Yes, because that one experience opens up new opportunities and new possibilities for you.
That's beautiful.
Yes, so you expanded the field
Oh, you expanded your field.
So now you're not stuck in this this rug. So cute, right? But it's right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is where the rug ends and begins. When we expand our field of awareness, the rug now can become this entire floor. And if I'm with this entire floor, I've now have contact with, we got Malika, Brittany, Portia, Diego here, that I have more levels of consciousness accessible to me. But if I'm right here and this is my span of awareness, I don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
I can't learn nothing else, and therefore I think that this is all there is.
Yeah.
So you have to step outside of that through a new experience, and once that new experience happens, validate it and tell the old story. It's no longer holds truth because it's not an absolute anymore.
So that's why we got to talk to ourselves. Be like, look, you remember when you thought that?
Remember when?
You got to talk to yourself.
Yes.
It's not crazy to talk to yourself. Because you
no,
got
it's not.
to remind, That's beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
One of the things that I'm creating my level 2 for my intuitive counselor class right now. One of the things I'm going to be teaching is like a deactivation system.
Okay.
And it's basically to tune into yourself. Like, what is my body feeling right now in this experience, right? So if I say right now my body is I feel a heaviness on my heart, right? And then the next part would be like, okay, what wound is speaking right now? And let's say the wound that's speaking is betrayal, right? When the betrayal wound speaks, it tells you can't trust anybody. Then it starts to tell you can't trust yourself. Then you start questioning all the relationships you have with people and whether or not they're real or that you're really safe within them, right? So now it's like, now that what wound is speaking, tell me what narrative is it telling you? And those are the narratives that I just said. And now we're going to search for the truth. Is there a relationship in your life that you can count on? Right? And you can say yes. So now I know that what my wound is telling me right now is not true. I'm just triggered or activated from a memory of the past pain that I've experienced. And it's coming up right now. And because my mind can't tell the difference between back then and right now, it's coming up and trying to present itself as a present truth. So now I want to give my body the nourishment that it needs. Let me check in with my heart to remove the heaviness. The moment I move the heaviness from my heart, now my mind can start thinking something different. The wound could stop talking and I can bring in more narratives of the truth. I can trust myself. I can trust the people that I'm connecting with at this point in time in my life. And the relationships I'm building are being built from my discernment, from me being in connection to my heart, me being in connection to being more informed about myself, my needs, my desires, my just all my inner makeup. And I made decisions about those people from that space, so I know I can trust where I'm at right now. Now I'm soothing my wound, so that is like a good process of learning yourself and learning how to operate yourself with other people as well, and coming more in contact, as you were saying, talking to yourself, coming more in contact with this relationship with yourself. Yeah, and realizing not everything that comes up has to be the operating system.
Yeah, you don't have to validate everything that comes up.
You can acknowledge it, but you don't have to become it.
Yeah. You said observe, not absorb.
Observe, not absorb. Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So happy. Thank you so much for this time together. I want you to look at this camera and tell everyone, everything that you have going on, your offerings, what's new, what to look out for, where they can find you, all those things.
Hi, I'm Akiyla McQueen, owner of Supreme Essence. You can find me at www.supremeessencepfw.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at A Sacred Vibration and Akiyla McQueen. I host retreats. Me and my team, we host retreats for the evolution of consciousness, teach certification programs for those who are looking to intuitively counsel, those who want to become sound healers, Reiki practitioners, and be a disciple of light, moving in your purpose, finding yourself, being empowered in your vision and your mission that you came to do and be in this lifetime. So yeah, those are some of the things that you can get into when you find my stuff. And I do
Yes.
music.
Yes, your music.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. It was
you.
beautiful. It was amazing. It was a gift. So my phone is going up. So, yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.